How do buffers work? You need to be able to explain this, so do lots and lots of reading around the subject, read lots of books, have a look at videos, take extra notes, but do get a good understanding for how buffers work. Now, as we've seen previously, to make a buffer you need a weak acid and you need to add some salt of that weak acid. So weak acid and salt of that weak acid. What we can then do is use the equation, or use an equation that we've used before, and that is for the dissociation constant for the acid, the weak acid that we've got in there. And that is H plus and A minus. This is your products over your HA. Now, to help us explain how buffers work, we now use a rearranged version of this equation, and we use the famous equation, which is this. Okay, and it was made famous by two people, Henderson and Hasselbalch. And what it is a ratio of the amount of acid that you have in the buffer and the amount of salt that you have in the buffer. Now, for buffers to work, you have to have a considerable greater amount of weak acid and salt compared to the amount of H plus. And in the next video, what we'll talk about is how by adding small amounts of H plus or OH minus, the acid and the salt change by small amounts, but the ratio, this value here, changes very little, and hence the H plus value changes very little, and hence the pH value changes very little too. And that, in essence, is buffer action. But please do read plenty of books about this, because you do need to be able to understand and explain it.